Welcome back, everybody, to the Home Alone playthrough. This is part 2, and in this part, we're basically, instead of collecting a bunch of valuables, we are now picking up Kevin's toys, so that they can't steal the toys. If anybody remembered, in the very beginning cutscene, Marv talks about how he oh god, there he is. How he desperately, how very badly he wants to have the kids' toys. Oh, for God's sake. Because, well, he's, let's just say he's weird. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see, basically this whole stage is set up like looks like a big fat toy room. That's hilarious. So yeah, that does show that, oh man, that was close, that there are some traps that you can indeed activate to knock them out. These moving robots actually freaked me out at first, because they reminded me of the Sentry robots in Earthbound. Yeah, if anybody's been following that playthrough, then hopefully you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so yeah, going and getting this helicopter here, floating up and down for no reason. It's like nobody's controlling it, and yet it's hovering up and down. Why is there a bunch of spikes between the pinball tables? Why does he have this many pinball tables? Anyway, it's like, seriously, I can't really remember too well in the movie, but in this game, it really seems like this family is excessively rich. Like, to the point where it just seems really, really pointless. You don't need 5 pinball tables. Anyway, so yeah, apparently this is a different wing of the house. God, what does he live in, the White House or something? I mean, it's gigantic. Yeah, this entire wing actually has a bunch of toys and like lounge rooms and game rooms and all this sort of crap. I mean, come on. Although now that I think about it, in the movie, he actually has a bunch of brothers and sisters anyway. So I guess, you know, it's not like the same as like Richie Rich, where it's just like him as an only child with like 50,000 different toys and his own roller coaster. My God, that was an amazing movie. Just how over the top it was with like stuff that he had. I remember, like, I'm sure every kid that watched that movie was like, oh my God, I wish I could have the same stuff. I know I thought that. Anyway, that's, what in the world? Okay, that's actually a very interesting glitch where Marv is, I don't know if that's a glitch, to be honest, or if the programmer's just like, hey, let's just put him up here, and like, walk by, and he's like, hey, why don't you come up here? And, nah. And he's like, okay, I'll see you next time then. It's just hilarious. I don't know why they did that. It was just, oh God, who is this guy? He throws baseballs, run away. Alrighty then. So what did I get? A toy car and a couple of pizza slices out of there? Awesome. Awesome to the max. Anyway, there's really not too much about this game that's, you know, there to talk about. Although, you know, if you look at Kevin's sprite, it really does not look like Macaulay Culkin as he does in the movie. Really, it does not. It looks like just, oh God, there's, what? Now he's on the ground. What happened? Anyway, it looks like just a generic, I don't know, kid hero. I don't know. Anyway, hey, a cookie. Now I'm at full health. So wheat. There's another moving robot. Hey, that little baby blocks spell out dad. Aw, how adorable. So the gameplay of this game here on Wikipedia, of course, that's where I always get my very bulletproof information from. A pizza slice behind a mirror. Who puts pizza slices behind mirrors? Anyway, gameplay. The purpose of the game is to escape the wet bandits while bringing all of the McAllister's fortune from the house down to the safe room in the basement. Once all the items have been sent down the chute to the basement, Kevin must make it past bats, rats, and ghosts he encounters in the basement. Then fight the Spider King so he can make it to the safe room to lock away all his family riches. I'm sorry, it just, I mean, when you read that, it sounds like the stupidest thing ever. It reminds me of a certain angry video game guy's review on a certain Freddy Krueger game, and how all of the enemies were sort of generic, and how it should have been called Boo, Haunted House. Yeah, that's exactly how this game pretty much is. We'll just throw in a bunch of bats and rats and spiders for the kitties. Call it Boo, Haunted House. Anyway. Oh, gosh. That was good times. Anyway, so Now we're in some sort of storage room where inside these bins are not only pizza slices, but cars and stuff. I don't, you know, this game just makes no sense. It doesn't. And then these teddy bears will actually act as platforms that you can actually use, though you don't really use them that much. You don't use them that much. And the control in this game, not exactly the great. As you can see, there are quite a few times when I fall down and just like slip around and stuff. It kind of slippery control. Now, this was actually a test just to see what happens. Yeah, he dies. What do you know? Now oops, oh god. Yeah, as you can see, like I said, it is kind of slippery. Now I realize that indeed you can defeat them with the traps on the ground. Oh, yes, it makes sense. Though, staying sort of true to the movie, the smarter of the two bandits was the shorter one, Joe Pesci. The, what was his name? Harry, right. And interestingly though, if you try to lead Harry into any of the traps, he will stop in front of them and not get knocked out. Because, you know, Marv is the moron of the two. Yeah. Apparently there's some, oh god, there's a burglar now that throws hats, and I'm just like, okay, I don't want anything to do with this guy. Goodbye. Crazy. And, interestingly, oh, go away, seriously, what is with that? Hey, look, it's the same music from this first stage. Yeah. Very, very, like, I mean, this game is very repetitious. It doesn't seem like it's a very detailed sort of game. I mean, a lot of the backgrounds repeat themselves, a lot of the music repeats itself, and though the music is mostly Christmas stuff, it's alright, but, I mean, it does repeat, and it does tend to get really old. How can you hide a toy train behind a mirror like that? The train was bigger than the... What's going on here? Physics? Logic? Helicopters floating in the air. Alrighty, so, aside from that, I did find something interesting, though, in just a minute, though. I got all of the things that I actually need, though, the valuables, I should say. Though, there are actually more valuables than you actually need to collect, which is interesting, just in case you happen to not find some or pass over some. As you can see, oh, crap. As you can see, I'm going back now to go find those extra things. Although, if you collect any extra ones, you don't get anything special. You don't get any, like, bonus points. It's just same old, just a regular amount of points and whatnot. It's basically pointless. But I decided to just show where the extras are anyway, because I could. So, in the game for the PC, the player must set up traps to hurt the wet bandits. In the Home Alone title for the NES, the player must avoid being caught by the wet bandits in 20 minutes. The game is an example of the trap 'em up genre, which also includes games like Hyankyo Alien, Space Panic, and Lode Runner. Why was there a toy robot in the toilet? It's a toilet robot. Anyway. That's hilarious. I can't get over that. Oh my god, if I had heard that during the gameplay, I just would have been laughing the whole time. Anyway, oh, okay, time skipper shenanigans, going down the stairs once again, and into the basement. I swear, like, if I, you know, oh, what in the world? Okay, now there's spiders here, and we have to, another crazy obstacle course we have to dodge. If Brian or Timon just so happen to be watching this playthrough, I would suggest that they look away, because this can get very scary with all these spiders. Look at how they float around. What's up with that? And these spiders freak me out as well, because they look like giant roaches, and I just don't much care for roaches. No, certainly not. So, yeah, it's really, really ridiculous. Boo haunted house. Let's just add these spiders in for the kitties, and whoa, that was close. Oh, wow, that was even closer. Now we got a boss fight. As I mentioned before, there's the Spider King. God, that thing is really ugly, and it looks like a giant roach, so I don't much care for it. I'm gonna squash it. As you can probably tell, this guy isn't very smart. All he really does is run back and forth with enough gap on the left and right corners for you to hide in, and all you have to do is keep knocking down this loose block in the middle and knock him on the head, or the back, or the butt, wherever you hit him. It doesn't really matter, as long as you hit him. As long as there's some sort of collision detection, you should be alright. You just gotta hit him 5 times, which is, well, you know, sort of like video game logic, you know, every sort of odd number. For God's sake, you know, it could have been 3, but here it's 5. There we go. And that is so ridiculous. When you beat the boss, it sounds like the safe when it closes. Just listen. Why does a spider sound like a safe when it dies? Anyway, that's it for Stage 2, and that's it for Part 2 of this playthrough. Join me in Part 3, where we'll be exploring the electronics wing, saving all those poor defenseless little electronics before the burglars can get to them. See you all next time.